Namo Amitabha Buddha Namo Amitofo. Collection on the Land of Peace and Joy. Composed by Master Daochuo from Zhuangzong Monastery, Bingzhou of the Tang Dynasty. English translation by Householder Folk King, edited by Householder Jingtu. Preface to the Collection on the Land of Peace and Joy by Dharma Master Huizhen. The Collection on the Land of Peace and Joy, comprising 2 fascicles, was composed by Master Daochuo, 562 to 645. It is included in volume 47 of the Daochuo canon. This 2-fascicle text is organized into 12 chapters, with the first fascicle containing 3 chapters and the second 9. Each chapter is divided into several sections. Chapter 1 includes the maximum 9 sections, while Chapter 12 has just 1. In total, there are 38 sections. As its title, Collection on the Land of Peace and Joy, suggests, the work hereafter referred to as collection is a compilation that cites sutras, vinayas, abhidharma shastras, commentaries, and interpretations, aiming to inspire the pursuit of rebirth in the pure land of peace and joy in the West. It begins thus. In this collection on the land of peace and joy, there are 12 chapters, each citing sutras and treatises as evidence to encourage the development of faith and the aspiration for rebirth in the pure land. The cited scriptures total more than 50. Peace and joy in the title clearly and concisely underscores the purpose of this collection, which is to elucidate the doctrinal principles of the pure land of peace and joy and to promote rebirth in that land. The term Pure Land stands in contrast to defiled realm. As described in the Amitabha Sutra, the place where we sentient beings reside is known as an iniquitous world of the 5 turbidities, where both our physical and mental states, along with our environment, are laden with various forms of impurities. This realm is characterized by its turbidity and malevolence. In his commentary on the treatise on rebirth in the Pure Land, Master Tanluan states, ordinary beings undertake wholesome actions of the human/celestial attribute and receive human/celestial karmic rewards. Both the causes and consequences are delusory and false. Such merit is therefore called untrue merit. He continues, the 3 domains are characterized by illusion, transmigration in the 6 realms, and endlessness of suffering, like a caterpillar looping itself or a silkworm enmeshed in its own cocoon. Sentient beings are pitiful indeed. They are entangled in the 3 domains, deluded and defiled. He further affirms, these 3 domains resemble a dark house in which unenlightened ordinary beings reincarnate endlessly. The pleasures of living things are just slightly different from their sufferings. Their lifespans vary in length, but only for the time being. Overall, nothing here is not flawed. Disasters and blessings coexist, depend on one another, and alternate in succession without end. Beings are mired in various states of existence and undergo mixed sensations and feelings. They cling incessantly to the 4 inverted beliefs. From causes through consequences, delusion and futility persist unceasingly. That is why our present world is called a defiled realm. The pure land of peace and joy refers to the western land of bliss, accomplished by Amitabha Buddha with his merit and virtue. It is pure, immaculate, brimming with light and joy. According to the Infinite Life Sutra and Amitabha Sutra, those reborn in the Pure Land have excellent and brilliant wisdom and thorough, penetrating, supernatural powers. They are all endowed with natural, immaterial bodies and unlimited forms. That Buddha's lifespan, as well as those of the people in his land, are innumerable, boundless asamkhya kalpas. This suggests that, once reborn in the Pure Land, we will attain eternal life, free from the cycle of birth and death, akin to Amitabha Buddha. We will enjoy unhindered bodies and minds to our satisfaction, and all our aspirations and expectations will be fulfilled. In the Pure Land, the ground is made of gold, and the railings, nets, and trees are crafted from myriad treasures. 7 jeweled ponds, filled with water of 8 meritorious virtues, are scattered throughout. Pavilions, also adorned with sundry treasures, can adjust in size, number, movement, and distance according to our wishes. During the 6 periods of each day and night, heavenly mandrava blossoms rain down from the sky. Amazing birds of diverse colors constantly chant Dharma sounds. When gentle breezes waft through the jeweled trees and jeweled nuts, they too emit wondrous Dharma sounds. Hearing these sounds purifies the 6 sense faculties and leads to the attainment of the endurance for the non-arising of dharmas. The Amitabha Sutra states, the sentient beings in that realm are free from all suffering and experience only manifold joys. That is why it is called bliss. The Infinite Life Sutra proclaims, names of the suffering in the 3 wretched realms do not exist. There are only tones of spontaneous happiness. That is why the land is called peace and joy. The commentary on the treatise on rebirth in the Pure Land affirms, this purity is neither corruptible nor contaminable. It contrasts with the 3 domains which are subject to defilement and destruction. It further says, the land of peace and joy arose from the compassion and correct contemplation of Bodhisattva Dharmakara. It was established by the supernatural power and original vows of Amitabha Tathagata. Because of this land, living beings can bid farewell forever to births and births by womb, egg, and dampness. The long tether of their karmic bondage is eternally severed. Consider an archer with the skill of shooting arrows in continuous alignment. He didn't wait to be reminded to string his bow. Likewise, those reborn in the Pure Land spontaneously cultivate diligence, modesty, benignness, and accommodation, attaining the virtues of Bodhisattva Samantabhadra. To say that the Pure Land transcends the 3 domains is still an understatement. Section 3 of the 5th grade teaching in this collection presents a succinct comparison between the defiled environment of this world and the pure environment of the land of bliss. Upon reading it, feelings of admiration for the Pure Land and revulsion toward the defiled Saha world naturally emerge. The principles of the collection can be summed up in 4 key points. 1. Compatibility between the time and the teaching, schools of the sacred path and the Pure Land school, name recitation according to Amitabha Buddha's fundamental vow, rebirth of ordinary beings in the realm of rewards. Compatibility between the time and the teaching. For a practitioner determined quickly to transcend reincarnation and attain Bodhi in this lifetime, choosing a teaching for practice involves careful consideration of both the error and personal capability. Master Daochuo was born at the onset of the age of Dharma decline. He recommends in this collection that for sentient beings with Dharma decline aptitudes, reciting Amitabha's name and seeking rebirth in the Pure Land is the appropriate approach. The collection gets straight to the point in the opening section of the 1st grade teaching on features of the teaching. Assessment of both the current era and the capacities of beings' advocacy of rebirth in the Pure Land. It holds that if teachings align with the times and the capacities of beings, they are easier to practice and comprehend. When teachings are ill-suited to the era and capability and capacities, they become difficult to cultivate and accomplish. Therefore, practitioners must first determine what is suitable for themselves. To support this assertion, the collection references the Sutra on Mindfulness of the Correct Dharma and the Moon Store Sutra of the Great Compilation as evidence. A message from the Moon Store Sutra is this. In the present era, sentient beings are in the 4th 500-year period following the Buddha's departure. This is the time for repentance and cultivation of blessings, including the recitation of Amitabha's name. In selecting teachings appropriate to the time and capacity, the exhortation clearly points out that beings of the present era should recite Amitabha's name. It further states, the supreme achievement of Buddha is exceedingly difficult for those who seek enlightenment in the Saha world. Only through the Pure Land path can we hope for the ultimate attainment. This statement succinctly says that in a world of the 5 turbidities and during the age of Dharma decline, when no Buddha is present, the practice and attainment of the 3 learnings and 6 paramitas become increasingly difficult. Entry into Bodhi is feasible only through the Pure Land teachings, specifically by seeking rebirth in the Pure Land through reliance on Amitabha's deliverance. In other words, only the Pure Land school provides a pathway to Buddhahood in the synchronous world of the 5 turbidities for beings who have consistently engaged in unwholesome deeds throughout their lives. It is the teaching that precisely aligns with both the time and the capacity. 2. Schools of the Sacred Path and the Pure Land School. In assessing the suitability of teachings in terms of time and capacity, The collection categorizes Shakyamuni Buddhist teachings into two types: the schools of the Sacred Path and the Pure Land School. The former relies on the practitioner's own efforts in the Saha world to cultivate the 6 paramitas and myriad virtuous deeds, aiming to eradicate delusion, attain truth, achieve sainthood, and reach fruition. By contrast, the Pure Land tradition depends on the power of Amitabha Buddha's vows to seek rebirth in the Pure Land, where one can eliminate illusions, realize truth, and attain Bodhi. Master Daochuo's demarcation of the Sacred Path and the Pure Land Path derives from Bodhisattva Nagarjuna's classification long ago of the Dharma into the difficult path and the easy path. It follows on from Master Tanluan's more recent division into self-power and other power. Bodhisattva Nagarjuna distills Shakyamuni's teachings into the difficult path and the easy path. The difficult path requires complete reliance on self-power for practice. It resembles traveling on foot, which makes for an arduous journey. Its characteristics are miscellaneous, prolonged, and prone to descent. By contrast, the easy path relies solely on Amitabha's deliverance. It is like sailing on water, which is joyous. Its features singular, quick, and certain. Master Tanluan clarifies that being difficult or easy lies in whether one relies entirely on self-power or on other power. Daochuo not only inherits the landmark classifications of the earlier lineage masters, he also incorporates them into his well-organized, methodical division into the Sacred Path and the Pure Land Path. The classification takes into account both time and capacity based on extensive scriptural citations. Master Daochuo distinguishes between the two paths, clearly intending to encourage practitioners to abandon the Sacred Path and embrace the path of deliverance through the Pure Land. The core essence of this collection is the text known as the demarcation between schools of the Sacred Path and the Pure Land School. It is in section 1 of the third great teaching, which states, the Sacred Path, one of the two approaches, is difficult to yield enlightenment in this age. Firstly, because we are far removed from the era of the great sage. Secondly, due to the profoundness of the Dharma principle and the limitations of our comprehension. Hence, the Moonstore Sutra of the Great Compilation says, in the age of Dharma decline, billions and billions of sentient beings will engage in the practice of the way, yet not one will attain it. During the present age of Dharma decline, and in this unwholesome world of the 5 tributaries, only the path of the Pure Land provides a clear route to the gateway of enlightenment. Therefore, the longer sutra states, this passage cites 2 causes in one scriptural proof, as factual and theoretical evidence to show that the schools of the Sacred Path are blocked, impractical, and inaccessible. Conclusion: the Pure Land Path is the sole clear route to the gateway of enlightenment. The word soul implies selectivity and superiority. In other words, this teaching encompasses and surpasses all Dharma schools. It is the only teaching that does not resort to expedient means or rely on other causal conditions. Behind these terms lies a strong resolve to abandon the Sacred Path and take refuge in Pure Land. As to being far removed from the era of the great sage, one of the 2 causes, some scholars argue that the expression correct Dharma, semblance Dharma, and Dharma decline on the vertical timeline of ages should instead be understood horizontally, applied to different types of people. Those with superior capabilities and intelligence, even in the current age of Dharma decline, can still make achievements characteristic of the correct Dharma. Conversely, those of lesser ability may accomplish nothing even in the age of correct Dharma when the Buddha was present, as if they were in the age of Dharma decline. Therefore, the 3 phases of the Dharma are specific to individuals, not necessarily relevant to time. This view is held predominantly by adherents of the Sacred Path. In practical terms, however, it amounts to empty rhetoric. As more time passes since the Buddha's departure, the power of his teachings to educate and influence weakens progressively. Social morality declines at a rapid pace. Those intending to practice lack the ability to do so. Enlightenment remains distant and unforeseeable. This is the conspicuous state of affairs in the Buddhist community today. From a materialistic perspective, techniques to enhance creature comforts continue to advance daily, but efforts to eradicate delusion and realize the truth are steadily deteriorating an indisputable reality. That is why the great sage, the Buddha, predicted, in the age of Dharma decline, not one will attain it. Hence, having teachings aligning with the times and the capacities of beings is as important as prescribing appropriate medicine for an illness. As it is said, medicine is neither valuable nor worthless. What works for the disease is good. A teaching is neither inherently superior nor inferior. What suits a practitioner's circumstances is marvelous. Given the resolve to pursue enlightenment, a practitioner never deceives himself and with wisdom can make sound choices. Now, based on the Buddha's sacred words, Master Daochuo explicitly advises, during the present age of Dharma decline and in this unwholesome world of the five turbidities, only the path of the Pure Land provides a clear route to the gateway of enlightenment. This text is truly a panacea for the multitudes, a now retreating downwind vessel through the boundless sea of suffering. Regarding the profoundness of the Dharma principles and the limitations of our comprehension, the second of the two causes, Dharma principle and comprehension, are correlative terms. Comprehension denotes the subject that understands, while Dharma principle is what is comprehended. The components of the sacred path are organized into four categories: teaching, principles, practice, and fruition. Teaching is what explains, and principle is what is explained. The teaching of Shakyamuni Buddha serves as a subject of interpretation, and the principles revealed through this teaching constitute the object being interpreted. Some examples include the Lotus Sutra, presenting the concept of ultimate reality of all dharmas, the Abhidhamsaka Sutra, exploring non-obstruction among all phenomena, the Vimalakirti Sutra, discussing the non-duality gate to inconceivable liberation, and the Nirvana Sutra, affirming that all sentient beings have Buddha nature. Applying principles to our three categories of actions, deeds, words, and thoughts, is called practice. Thus, principles and practice are based on the relationship between what is relied upon and what relies upon it. Principles are the object of reliance, while practice is the subject. Furthermore, our practice relies on principles to attain fruition, which establishes a relationship between the object attained and that which attains it. The subject practice brings about attainment, while the object fruition is attained through practice. An illustration. Nonetheless, in the age of Dharma decline, our turbid and wholesome proclivities prevent us from embodying the sacred path's principle of the ultimate reality of all dharmas and non-obstruction among all phenomena in our three actions. This reflects the profoundness of the Dharma principle and the limitations of our comprehension. The sacred path requires practitioners to understand the teaching with wisdom and emphasizes such understanding as a significant component of practice. Thus, weak comprehension leads to defective practice, which ultimately results in failure to attain. Hence, the Buddha stated, in the age of Dharma decline, not one will attain it. Conversely, by following the Pure Land school, we learn the teaching of the three Pure Land Sutras, believe in the principle of other power, engage in the practice of Amitabha recitation, and attain the fruition of rebirth in the Pure Land and Buddhahood. Both paths involve learning the Buddhist teachings and aiming to attain enlightenment, yet one requires painful effort while the other brings happiness. One is difficult, the other easy. To alleviate suffering and achieve joy, to forsake the difficult and choose the easy, to relinquish self-power and embrace other power, to set aside the sacred path and enter the Pure Land path. Those precisely are the goals of this collection. Hence it affirms, only the path of the Pure Land provides a clear route to the gateway of enlightenment. Given these teachings of the scriptures, why not forsake the difficult and embrace the easy path? 3. Name recitation according to Amitabha Buddha's fundamental vow. Name recitation according to Amitabha's fundamental vow is the essence of the Pure Land school. It originates from the 18th vow in the longer sutra. Master Daochuo designates that vow as the doctrinal substance of the Pure Land teaching, known as the fundamental vow, and interprets it as to recite Amitabha's name. In the collection's third great teaching, subsection 5 of section 3, on the demarcation between schools of the Sacred Path and the Pure Land school, states that according to the longer sutra, should sentient beings, even if they have done evil all their lives, recite my name continuously 10 times as death approaches, and fail to be born in the Pure Land, may I not attain perfect enlightenment. This teaching is precisely the fundamental principle of name recitation according to Amitabha Buddha's fundamental vow, which began with Bodhisattva Nagarjuna. Since the Sacred Path was thriving during Daochuo's era, most of his contemporary Dharma masters from various schools valued meditative contemplation as a superior practice. Even when interpreting the Contemplation Sutra, they designated Buddha contemplation as the scripture's essence, which involves reflecting on the Buddha's physical marks and characteristics. Master Daochuo, in order to tailor the teaching to different proclivities and draw practitioners of other schools to the Pure Land path, outwardly proposed Buddha contemplation as the essence. Implicitly, however, he advocated name recitation, promoting it as the true essence. Section 4 of collection's first great teaching on divergent core essence of various sutras states, the core essence of the Contemplation Sutra is Buddha contemplation samadhi. Afterwards, the text simply advises practicing Buddha invocation samadhi. The term Buddha invocation encompasses both Buddha contemplation and recitation of the Buddha's name. This is known as non-differentiation between recitation and contemplation, and integration of recitation and contemplation. This principle was inherited by Master Shandao, Daochuo's most accomplished disciple. Shandao further distinguished the two practices from each other clearly and made definitive judgments on which should be relinquished and which be embraced. First, in fascicle 1 of his commentary on the Contemplation Sutra, in 4 fascicles, in the selection on the underlying meaning, under the 3rd subsection, Gate of Purpose, within the 7 subsections, Shandao says, the Contemplation Sutra takes Buddha contemplation samadhi as its essence, and also Buddha recitation samadhi as its essence. This is known as the twofold essence of recitation and contemplation. However, when it comes to drawing a conclusion, Shandao abandons contemplation and advocates recitation, exclusively emphasizing Buddha recitation as the core essence. In fascicle 4 of his commentary on the Contemplation Sutra, in meaning of the non-meditative practices, he affirms in the circulation section, the preceding passages spoke of the merits of the meditative and non-meditative virtues. The Buddha's underlying wish is that sentient beings recite Amitabha's name single-mindedly. Previously, as a skillful means to induce others according to their inclinations, Shandao proposed the twofold essence of recitation and contemplation, but now focusing exclusively on the intention of the fundamental vow. He affirms name recitation as the single core essence. It is evident that both the teacher and disciple were in accord, speaking with one voice. No matter how exceptional a Dharma teacher may be, if it is difficult or even impossible for sentient beings to practice, it provides them with no benefit. While Buddha contemplation is hard, reciting Amitabha's name with faith in his deliverance is easy. More importantly, Buddha contemplation does not align with Amitabha's fundamental vow, whereas name recitation precisely does. Accordingly, section 2 of the 4th grade teaching, and in this collection, Buddha invocation emphasized in various scriptures cites 2 types of benefits from invocation. The initial benefit of always being embraced by Amitabha's light, never to be abandoned, and the ultimate benefit of constantly beholding Amitabha Buddha after rebirth in the Pure Land. These 2 benefits are exclusive to Buddha invocation and absent from other practices. The point is to stress that Buddha recitation surpasses all other practices and downplay the latter, urging devotees to recite Amitabha's name. Therefore, the time refers to the age of Dharma decline, and the capacity corresponds to ordinary beings. Only the teaching of the Pure Land path through Amitabha recitation provides clarity to the gateway of enlightenment. Rebirth of ordinary beings in the realm of rewards. This argument is presented in the collection to rectify misconceptions about Pure Land teachings held by other schools in the Buddhist community of that time. After the southern and northern dynasties, various masters from different schools put forward their views on Amitabha Buddha's body and his Pure Land. Broadly speaking, these views can be summarized into the following 3 categories: 1, reward body and realm of rewards. Amitabha is a reward body Buddha, and the land of bliss is a realm of rewards, composed of the karmic rewards of Bodhisattva Dharmakara. Therefore, ordinary beings cannot be reborn there. Attaining rebirth through 10 recitations merely implies an intention for a different time, deferred rebirth. Many masters of the Shastra school supported this perspective. 2, transformation body and transformation realm. Amitabha's Pure Land is a rough realm, pure only in phenomena, also known as a phenomenally pure realm, which is equivalent to a transformation realm. As such, Amitabha Tathagata is considered a transformation body Buddha, and the Pure Land of Bliss is a transformation realm. Though ordinary beings can be reborn there, the realm is a transformation land, and what they see is a transformation Buddha body Buddha. This view was endorsed by Master Huiyan of the Jingyin Temple, Zi of the Tiantai school, and Jizang of the Sanlun school, among others. 3. Integration of reward and transformation. Amitabha's Pure Land encompasses both the realm of rewards and a transformation realm. Bodhisattvas at the first stage and above are born in the realm of rewards, while ordinary beings and practitioners of the 2 vehicles are born in the transformation realm. This is the stance advocated by Masters Jas, Kai, Dao Shi, and Zhuan Zhao. Although the above 3 interpretations differ, they all equally deny the possibility of ordinary beings' rebirth in the realm of rewards. View number 1 acknowledges that the land of bliss is a realm of rewards, but completely denies that ordinary beings can be reborn there. It regards the 10 recitations as merely sowing the seed for rebirth in a subsequent life, providing the causal conditions for future practice. Only when one's practice reaches a certain level can rebirth be realized. Views 2 and 3 affirm that ordinary beings can be reborn in the Pure Land, but judge that it is a transformation realm. These views clearly show a lack of understanding of the profound significance of Amitabha's fundamental vow. They contradict the sutras, disregard scriptural principles, and seriously hinder the dissemination and development of the Pure Land teaching. Master Huigan, a disciple of Shandao, expressed his regret. For more than a century after the introduction of the Compendium of Mahayana, practitioners who have read this discussion on deferred rebirth have chosen not to practice the Pure Land teaching. Therefore, by referencing sacred texts, Master Daochuo highlights the principle that ordinary beings can be reborn in the realm of rewards. He first confirms that Amitabha is a reward body Buddha, and his Pure Land is a realm of rewards. Section 7 of the collection's first great teaching cites the Mahayana Same Nature Sutra. Those who attain Buddhahood in pure realms are all reward bodies. Those who attain Buddhahood in defiled realms are invariably transformation bodies. Since all Pure Lands arise as karmic rewards of the Buddha's vows and practices in the causal ground, they are all realms of reward. Those who have attained enlightenment and Buddhahood in pure realms are undoubtedly reward body Buddhas. Next, Daochuo ascertains that, by relying on the power of Amitabha's vows, ordinary beings can be reborn in the Buddha's realm of rewards. Section 8 of the first great teaching collection says, Amitabha, Buddha's Pure Land, embraces those with capacities from the highest to the lowest. It is accessible to both ordinary and sacred beings. This land of infinite life is the pure realm of Amitabha's rewards. By virtue of his vows, it accommodates the full range of capabilities, allowing even those with virtues characteristic of ordinary beings to achieve rebirth there. This teaching of rebirth of ordinary beings in the Pure Land's realm of rewards was carried on by Master Shandao, Daochuo's disciple, who was revered as an incarnation of Amitabha Buddha and gained renown throughout the Buddhist community. In his commentary on the Contemplation Sutra, a definitive work for all ages, Master Shandao clarifies the principle that Amitabha's Pure Land is a realm of rewards, not a transformation realm. In the 6th subsection, Gate of Convergence, within the 7 subsections of Fascicle 1, section on the underlying meaning, he then posed a question and answered it. Question: since both the Buddha and his land are of the reward nature, and the Dharma of rewards is superb and wondrous, even lesser sages find it challenging to ascend. How can impure and obstructed beings gain entry? Answer: indeed, if we consider the impurities and obstructions of sentient beings, it is truly difficult to approach. However, by relying on Amitabha's vows as a powerful condition, all 5 vehicles are able to enter.